for flight attendants in leadership. That'll make sense in just a couple minutes. I once worked for a director who was known for being fairly intense. I'd heard stories, people getting chewed out, meetings going sideways, but I hadn't really seen it myself. And then one day, we're in a team meeting, about a dozen of us. I happened to be in the office, some folks were on a Zoom call, and the director walks in. And as soon as he enters the room, and as soon as they enter the room, the mood shifts, the energy shifts. They take a seat right next to me and immediately call out to one of the people that was on the Zoom, not to chew them out, but basically to rant about a situation that had just gone sideways, probably in their last meeting, and this person was the best contact to help wrangle that situation moving forward. But it was intense. Swearing, venting, and really just treating this business problem like it was a personal attack. And this was in front of more than a dozen people. So there I am, sitting next to him, and I could feel every muscle in my body contract. Like I was white knuckling the armrests of my chair because I felt so uncomfortable. And honestly, it was in that moment that I made a decision. I would never be able to trust this person. I would never be able to be fully open with this person. I would always approach them carefully, anxiously, and filtering any information that I'm about to give them through this question of, could this set them off? That was one meeting. That was one outburst that I witnessed. And that was all it took for me to understand how this person ticks. And to know enough that I did not want to trust them moving forward, ever. So here's what leaders don't realize. They think the moment passes. They cool down. They might even apologize to anyone that witnessed it. But for the people in that room, it doesn't pass. It becomes the permanent filter through which every future interaction runs through. As a leader, your team is watching you the same way that we all watch the flight attendants anytime there's turbulence on a flight. Think about it for a second. You're on a flight, it starts to get really bumpy, and if you look over and the flight attendants look calm, cool, collected, maybe they're literally still handing out snacks and refreshments, you think, oh, well, okay, this isn't that bad. Even if you're afraid of flying, it can help. You just know that, okay, they've been through it. They would know if this was a bit more serious. On the other hand, if you looked over and there was a flight attendant frantically running up and down the aisle, looking very frazzled, then you would probably start to freak out. I know I would. I would probably start to breathe a bit heavier and say a couple prayers. Basically, if you're a leader, or if you are a leader who treats every setback like a 5-alarm fire, then people no longer know when there's a real emergency. Or worse, they stop bringing you problems at all. And look, that's not to say that as a leader, you're not allowed to be frustrated. Some of the leaders I've respected the most in my own career are ones that, yeah, they definitely showed emotion from time to time, but they didn't let the frustration run the room. They got the same bad news. They felt the same pressure, but they regulated. They took a breath. Maybe they had a human moment where they admitted that this was a bad or negative situation, and then they switched over into solution mode, and it was time to rally the troops and figure out exactly what needed done. And because of that, people will bring that leader problems before they've spiraled into full-blown emergencies because they're not afraid of how that leader's going to react. If you lead people, if you manage a team, you have to understand one thing. Your emotional state is not just yours. It is everyone on your teams. It is everyone who is in the room with you when these situations go down. People are watching. And that's not meant to be a burden. That is the job. So remember, the next time something goes a little rough and you're tempted to react in an emotional way, take a beat, be a flight attendant. Thanks for watching.